How to make over $100,000 a month in wholesaling real estate. What is up, guys? Zach in here.
Rick in here.
And as two millionaire wholesalers that are able to scale their wholesaling business to millions of dollars a year in profit, we've been through the whole entire scaling process. We've actually helped a lot of wholesalers get to over $100,000 a month. But what I can tell you, it's not a complicated system. It is a system. If you can consistently just make more money every single month, you'll get to that point. Now, I know it's stupid. Like, of course, I have to just make more money every month, right? But if you systematically add some things and you really create an equation of what you're doing in your current business and making it more, doubling and tripling it, it's a lot easier. Now, if you're somebody that's already made 6 figures in wholesaling, this is really good news. It is way easier to go from 100K a year to $1 million a year than it is to go from 0 to 100K. It's all like a rocket ship. From initial liftoff to like a mile up in the sky, gravity is a lot stronger. Now, up in the atmosphere, it's thinner, which means gravity is a lot less. So it's easier the higher up you get. And so from going from $1 million to $2 million is actually a lot easier than even 100K to $1 million. So if you've already gotten some wholesaling deals and you're getting some consistent deals, this is actually going to be a pretty easy and simple process.
So guys, in the beginning, the idea is you're working wholesaling to find a way to connect with motivated sellers. This is people who need to sell their house versus want to sell their house. And really the beginning launch phase, like that launch phase, honestly, when does a rocket typically blow up? Typically in the first minute or two of launch. And you guys got to understand that just because it doesn't go exactly the way you want it, you have to stay on course and you have to you're gonna have to have trust the ship's gonna go up. How do you do that? You have to take the actions and you have to add that quantity, because once you get up to that first part of the atmosphere, you've got this thing called momentum. And once you have momentum, it builds. The problem is to get from ground force gravity to that initial liftoff. It is the most violent part. And the violence is because you're doing something new. It's uncomfortable. And if you want to be the exception and not the rule, you're going to have to withstand this G-shock, this force, this explosion, and not implode. So you have to trust in the process and do what we say, because if you try to tweak it or do things you only want to do, this ship will implode. So help us keep the ship together by following this guide and don't try to change it. And then once it gets up there, then you can change slight trajectories to make 100 grand, 200 grand, and well on your way to make whatever you want. It's that initial takeoff. You have to have the momentum, and without momentum, it can't build. You got to get past that first foot, the second foot, the third foot, and then you accelerate. And once you do that, 100 grand months are going to be the rule and not the exception. You've got to survive liftoff.
So scaling up to 100K a month, it's really not like going to make your first 100K a year. A lot of people think making 100 grand a month or scaling it up is this grind thing. And that's not what it is. You don't scale up in wholesaling by grinding hard like it is as a beginner. Yes, trust me, get your first deal, 2 deals, 3 deals, and getting that consistent lead flow for wholesaling and deal flow. Yes, it is a grind. You will have to grind. But to go from 100K a year to $1 million a year, it's more of a brain thing. It's more about using your brain than your actual brawn when getting these deals. You're not the point where you're going to cold call 400 hours a day. You just can't physically do that. But if you can leverage and do other things, you can be able to do it. So you're going to have to work smarter, not harder.
So now that you have an initial liftoff, and the idea is you've done a deal here and a deal there, and hopefully at this point you're averaging around 10K. It's like, how do we get to that 100K? Actually, you just got to work smarter at this point. And it all comes down to finding where are the motivated sellers. So what you have to do is learn to become what I call like a list ninja. And what we want to do is we want to get laser focused and pull the right list. So better list will quantitatively push you well above that 10 to get you those 20, 30, 40 grand. Because this is the part where a lot of people don't understand is if you can make 10 grand, you can easily make 40. And all it does is comes in now, you got to go in the right direction, because doing your first few deals, you're kind of shooting all over the hip trying to figure it out. Now you've gotten better to talk to sellers. Now, if you really systematize your wholesaling business and you get the right list, that means your probabilities go up. You actually have the same quantity, but now you got more direct lists. You have lists that are going to have a higher probability. Your systems gets better in a flow. You figure out the sales process on talking to each customer, preconditioning them just by making these little tweaks within your system and your operation and finding the most targeted best list for motivated sellers to go from like 10 to 20, 30, 40. Actually, it's like a rocket ship. This is where the boosters kind of explode. And the next section we'll talk about where the boosters come off.
But really, another part of that working smarter is just finding the lists that work, kind of like you said, right? Better lists. But how do you find those better lists? Well, pull a bunch of lists and see which ones are getting you deals and which ones aren't getting you deals. You'll find out pretty quick, hey, this probate list is getting me deals that are like $30,000 a piece. My average deal is about $10,000. Guess what I'm going to do? It's no rocket scientist. Go do the lists that actually end up making more money for you. On top of that too, just make your systems better. A lot of people do not follow up enough, or they don't know how to follow up the right way. Start cleaning that up. That's the little stuff that's going to get you from 10K a month to 20 to 30K a month without actually not hiring anyone else or pulling any more crazier lists. You're just being more efficient in your systems. Then from there, when we're super efficient, we can add people in. And so really the equation for scaling when I help people out, it's pretty simple. You want to do more deals and you want to make more money per deal. You want to go from making, let's say, $10,000 per wholesaling deal to $15,000 to $20,000 per deal. That's doubling your output by working the same. Now we can multiply that by doing more deals. That's just going to end up making more profits for us. How do you do more deals? Well, frankly, you probably got to market more. That's the best way to do it. So just pull more lists, do more marketing. On top of that too, how to do bigger deals? It's pretty simple. Just lowball more and go after more motivated sellers and better lists. And that's how you make more money per deal. Usually you're not just going to double your profits by doing this. You could probably triple or quadruple them from there. And now if you really want to get crazy, and this is the craziest part, we are going to do the most magical thing when it comes to scaling a business, just adding leverage.
So adding leverage to your wholesaling business is like the rocket fuel at this point, and it's going to help you accelerate. And actually, I'm not going to say it's the easy part, but it's kind of built in. The reality is, how can you duplicate more time or more people that think just like you? It's easy. We add components to your systems. So what I would always start out with is just like a VA, and a VA can help you just pulling market data. So these lists that you've so carefully crafted, pulled it, you figured it out. Now you can outsource it. When I say outsource, it means you're supervising it. But while you're sleeping at night, someone's working hard on the other side of the earth to pull all this stuff. So when it's ready to go, that's one less taxing thing to do. You look it over, you train to make sure they do it right. Having a VA and a marketing system, it allows you to create more time, and more time means more money. But you just don't stop there. At that point, you can add an acquisitions person because you're working on so many leads, you're marketing so deep because you hired a VA to do it. And why not? And here's the thing is, you have to spend time. Now you're going to spend more energy training people, and they're never going to be exactly you. It just doesn't work. If you get them 60, 70% as efficient as you've done an amazing job. You're going to spend time training, and these people are going to go out and do the appointments. They're going to help phone set. And remember, you're going to have to spend time with them. You just don't let them loose and you let them earn it. But if you get someone efficiently closing 5, 6, 7 deals a month without you being there, rocket fuel. Dispositions, in my opinion, is even easier. This is a person who's responsible for dispoing it, and you let them know your parameters. It's all time sensitive. They got to move the properties. And the idea, if somebody laser focuses on disposition, you can increase your bottom line by 25% right off the bat, because their whole job is to net you the most amount of money within the fixed amount of deals. Some deals got to be moved in 7 days. Sometimes you get 45 days. Let that person focus on getting it. And by just using systems like this, meaning you're just leveraging it, you're leveraging your knowledge and putting in other people and training them, and you're really buying back time. And that time is what's going to just accelerate you, make your rocket just fully take off, because now it's no longer just you doing the business. You have a team, but you're going to have to invest in the time in the training. Guys, if you don't take these actions, you can't grow, because if you try to do everything yourself, guys, I did everything myself my first 7 years. I'm telling you, if I accelerated this before, it would have helped me out so much more. Don't make my mistake. Make sure you use the leverage of other people with the knowledge in your head, and then add each department that's going to make your company much more profitable and efficient.
That's true. I mean, what is a leverage? Leverage comes from just a lever, right? And so you can use a lever to go lift something that you normally can't. You can use a lever to lift something that's 1,000 pounds when the average person can't lift that. What basically that means for wholesaling, you're able to do the work. It usually takes 4 or 5 men just with one person by having employees. Do you think Henry Ford hand assembled millions of cars starting out? No, he hired people to do them. And he probably paid them, like back in the day, like $1 or $2 an hour, but they were outputting for every $2 he spent, he got $5 of output with them. And so he made $3 an hour for every single hour the employee worked. That worked out really good. That's leveraging. When you pay a VA $4 an hour and they're able to produce wholesaling deals that's maybe 11, 12 bucks an hour, that's incredible leverage for wholesaling results. Now, if you want to know exactly how to hire VAs, how much to pay them, what type of employees for leveraging, just go to freewholesaling.com. We have actually a scaling system in the advanced topic section, so you can learn exactly how to scale up your systems right there. We do what the gurus never tell you, but we actually show you how much we pay them and where to find them. So just go to freewholesaling.com to learn exactly that. On top of this too, this is a very scary concept, but you are going to have to spend money to scale. I know, whoa, that's scary, but it's the honest truth. If you are already making hundreds of thousands of dollars wholesaling real estate, or you're making 40, 50, 60K a year, you've already made some profits. Reinvest it in the wholesaling business and make it grow. That's how every business grows. And guess what? You're going to have to spend money. You're going to have to test out different lists, test out cold callers, test out texting or a new platform. The point is, you're going to test it out and you're going to fail at some of these, but you're going to find ones that that work. And those ones are just going to way pay off the misses on it. So you're going to have to spend money, invest it in direct mail, invest it in texting, cold calling, something that's going to produce more deals. These paid services aren't around because they're here to just steal money from you. They're here because they actually work. And so you definitely, when you're making some money in wholesaling, I'm always the free guy, tell you to wholesale for free, but I am always telling you, once you make that money, reinvest it back into wholesaling to make it grow even more. That's what we do.
So at this point, you're looking at some paid services and stuff like that, but I want you to understand this. I'm going to give you the old fishing analogy. Don't leave fish biting to go find new fish. The thing is, you keep fishing in that same spot and either get another boat or another person to go out and you find these new things. So if you're going in the direct mail, as you know, I'm a big direct mail proponent, but I don't advise starting out there. Why? Because any direct mail company will take your money. You have to have the experience. You have to know how to talk to people. So when you get in direct mail, is listen and pay attention and give it the time, 3 to 4 months, to make sure it's profitable. And if it's profitable, honestly, a lot of times, even if you break even in the beginning and you figure it out, just like you did when you did it for free and you can scale it, you make money. But please don't leave what made you money. If you did driving for dollars and then say you added direct mail and cold calling, but then you stopped driving for dollars and you want to know why your margins went way down, because you stopped doing what worked. If it works, stick to it. A lot of the government lists me and Zach recommend you are the ones I started out in 2003. The reason I'm so adamant about sticking to it, because they work. And if I had given you 20 years of data, trust it. It's correct. Add these new systems, especially the paid one, but pay attention to them, and you're going to have to navigate through some learning curves. But here's the really cool part. You've already gone through the journey of wholesaling. You know how to talk to people, and this is how you take advantage of using these leveraged items through paid direct mail, through any of the systems, use multi-line dialers, anything like that. It just goes on and on, because now you have the skill set to take advantage of it. And that's why we don't recommend you doing highly paid marketing stuff in the beginning, because you don't know how to talk to people. So keep doing what works. Don't ever forget it, and add and test. And if something's producing and profiting, but after 3 or 4 months, if it's not profitable, take a look at it and go, listen, am I going to move forward with this, or am I going to kill it? You have to make a decision. Don't sit there and maybe land and do it forever and not make money. Constantly stay in the spot that made you money and find the ones that will leverage you and bring it. Not all of them are winners, and it depends on what market you are, how much you're spending. There's a lot of variables, but keep doing what made you a winner and don't stop, and then keep adding, finding, testing, and critiquing to see if it's going to work going forward.
Exactly. So guys, don't stop what's working, test new things out and apply leverage, do more deals and make more per deal. That is the secret to scaling out a wholesaling real estate operation. Make sure you go to freewholesaling.com to really learn how to do it the right way. And if you want some more help, you want to do some Zooms, talk to us, have the ability to message us and ask us, hey, how do I scale up my operations? Show us deals, and actually for us to see the inside of your business and actually scale it out and help you out, just go to FlipWithrick Plus. It is our advanced education platform. We teach anybody wholesaling real estate. You get more one-on-ones with us because frankly, there's hundreds of thousands of wholesalers trying to learn. Just go there to learn. We have live events, everything like that. That is free once you join FlipWithrick Plus. And technically it's free if you send us a JV deal. So keep sending us JV deals. We'll just sign up on the link and just get instant access now. And we'll see you soon inside of FlipWithrick Plus. If you got any value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. This is Zach signing out.
Rick signing out.
Have a blessed one.
See you guys.